Hello my loves, welcome to another video. My name is Gemma and today we are going to be seeing how many of the 100 books scratch off bucket list I have read and setting a wee target for 2022. So some of you will be aware that it was my birthday the other day. I did mention it because I have a new ring light as well because my life revolves around books and booktubing apparently. So I also received this lovely little scratch off bucket list of books from my sister-in-law. And so I thought I would make it into a video and I will scratch off the ones that I have read and show you which ones I've read. And then I'm going to pick 10 from this list that I haven't read that I'm going to prioritise and try really hard to read in 2022. Am I making a promise? No. But I am setting an intention. Let's call it an intention. And we'll see how we go. So let's see what we've read. Okay, so I have scratched them all off on my dining room table. And let's see which ones I've read so far. Okay, so I have read Lord of the Flies by William Golding, Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Matilda by Roald Dahl, 1984 by George Orwell, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, The Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman, The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Graeme, The Catcher in the Rye by JD Salinger, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, The Hitch-hikers Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, Macbeth by William Shakespeare, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, The Hound of the Baskervilles by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Animal Farm by George Orwell, Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne, The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas by John Boyne, Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, Dracula by Bram Stoker, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Birdsong by Sebastian Faulks, Watership Down by Richard Adams, and The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Right, I am back. So you'll have seen that I have read a fair few. I totted them up. 35 out of 100 I've read from that list. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. So let's talk about the 10 that I'm going to prioritise in 2022. So I went through and I picked one from each line. There were 10 lines of 10, obviously. And so I've picked one from each row. So let's talk about the ones that I've chosen. So from the first line, I have chosen Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. I'd really like to try reading more sci-fi. I do like sci-fi, but I just don't tend to pick it up for some reason. So I'd really like to try that. I've never read any Philip K. Dick before, and obviously he's quite an influential classic sci-fi author. So let's give that one a go. From the second line, I have chosen Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. This is a YA, and I think this is one where the roles of black and white are reversed. I don't really know, but it's supposed to be very good. And I don't read a lot of YA because I find it irritates me, but hopefully this one will be really good. So that's on my list. From the third line, I have chosen Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. Spoiler alert, will have one of my goals to be reading a certain amount of translated fiction again next year. And obviously Lolita is translated from Russian, so seems like a good one to put on the list. From the fourth row, I chose The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Haven't read any Ernest Hemingway. Feel like I probably should. And I think this is quite a small book. I might be completely wrong because I've got it on my Kindle, but I think it's quite small. So I'm trying to, you know, not pack it through full of like 2 chunky books. From the fifth line, I am going to choose Wild Swans by Zhuang Chang. Probably saying that very, very wrong. But me and Nikki have discussed possibly Buddy reading that one this year, so I've put it on the list. No pressure, Nikki, if we don't get to it. But yeah, would like to get to that at some point, to do with the realities of living in China. The next one from row 6 that I chose is Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. So this again, I think is sci-fi. I'm pretty sure it's sci-fi. And all I know is that it involves a mouse and everyone cries. So that sounds right up my alley. From the 7th row, I'm gonna go big or go home in this row. I'm gonna go for The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. So yeah, revenge story, 1,000+ pages long. That's all I know. From row 8, I am going to choose Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie. I saw Fraser over at Springboard Thoughts review this literally like last week. It might be like 2 weeks ago by the time this goes up. And he said it was really good, and I have the audiobook of this, and he said that was really good. So adding that one to the list. Row 9, I am going to choose The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Been meaning to get to this forever. And I was also prompted by Jim's alphabet tag that I did the other day in the K tag that, yes, I still haven't read it. Everybody else in the entire world has read this book except for me. So next year, 2022 is the year. And then from the last row, easy peasy pick here, The Odyssey by Homer, because I am reading that in January with the Eclectic Book Club, which, if you haven't heard me rave about it enough, it is hosted by David Wiley and Shelly Swearingen, and it is a lovely, lovely book club, and they are both lovely, lovely booktubers. You should check them out. But yeah, so I should at least manage one of this list of 10. If I manage nothing else, I will read The Odyssey. So so yeah, so those are the 10 I'm going to attempt to read over the next 12 months. We'll see how we go. We will see how we go. But yeah, let me know if you've read any of these, what your thoughts are, if you would have picked different ones. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, cheers.